In this video, I'm going to talk about Tai Chi. Some of you are going to wonder why I have a picture of Queen Tai, and why Chi is an Igbo word, and why the Nubians used the word, as well as Queen Tai being Nubian. So, I went to a site. Let me check my pictures. First, my pictures, right? We're going to start with Egypt, the Egypt map. Okay, and quoting from a website, I believe it was called Tai Chi History, or it was mtsu.edu, and they say that the history, this is the quote I have in my notes: the history of Tai Chi is a difficult one, since it is often difficult to sort out facts from legend. But we can say loosely, at least, that Tai Chi traces its roots back to approximately the 2nd millennium BC, with the practice of yoga in ancient India. In China, yoga came to be developed into what is called Shaolin Chuan. Chuan briefly means boxing. In the 13th century AD, a Taoist monk by the name of Chang Sang Fang developed what has come to be known as Tai Chi. So, that site talks about the history of Tai Chi, beginning with yoga in ancient India. Now, let's look at where the principles of yoga came from and how far back they go, and the mystery that surrounds it. Yoga and Tai Chi both come from Egypt, and I'll prove that beyond any doubt. When you're talking about Tai Chi, you're dealing with breathing, and you're dealing with spirit, and you're dealing with Chinese medicine, and you're dealing with philosophy, spiritual philosophy. Okay, and you are practicing different stances. And as I've shown you in my other videos, that these temples not only portray pharaohs who embody spiritual ideology and ideas, but they are in a stance. And when the Nubians come in, they all have their left foot forward together. Okay? Why was every country in the world that goes into Egypt, including the people who founded it, the Nubians, they all try to put themselves into the art, into the history, because they realize how important it is. Think about it. When the Europeans go to a random tribe in South Africa, do they go out of their way to make sure that random tribe has remembered them? No. The reason is every place wanted to put their people in the history of Egypt from its beginning onward. But the bottom line is an African people founded the knowledge that was used to describe God and to explain God. And these African peoples, that's why Africa is so diverse. It's the most diverse continent, because there's the most people, and there was the most humanoids. So these humanoids that some people might think are aliens were part of the peoples who passed down the knowledge. And they were African as well, just not necessarily a human as you describe us to be, but they were still human. And you see them depicted in some of the ancient Egyptian artwork. And a lot of people mistake them for aliens, but they are humanoid humans, and their story was passed down by the ancient Egyptian black Nubian people that were there before them as well. As you noticed, the tools were in the Nubian style. And they were in the Nubian style in 100,000 BCE. So the true knowledge, when God made man in his image, in a homo erectus, stand upright design of man in Africa, that knowledge was directly passed down to the black Nubians. And the tools prove it beyond any doubt. The origin of karate, the origin of Tai Chi, Queen Tai. What is Tai Chi? It is the soft style. What is the woman? She is the moon, the soft style. What color do they wear? They wear black. Because the color of night is black, the color of the moon. And the soft style comes from Queen Tai. Why? Because Queen Tai was one of the few women in ancient Egypt that was given the title of Pharaoh. And Nefertiti is the one who embodied her. Understand this. That it was Nefertiti's embodiment of Queen Tai that allowed the Asians to copy the style and the Indians and to create yoga. When does the history of yoga begin? And when is the 18th dynasty? In Egypt, Akhenaten, Amenhotep IV. Understand now the relationship between Tai and Akhenaten and Nefertiti and the cults who assassinated her when she attempted to assume power for a prolonged period of time. Understand this. That the tools prove beyond any doubt, that knowledge was passed down to Africa, like I said, and its most true form remained in Africa, and everything else is a variation. Like King Solomon's temple, when they lost the knowledge and the symbols and everyone took a piece. The Temple of Solomon and the origins of it are in Kemet. And the knowledge from God came down through Africa. And after that, it was lost. That is why the Christ came back to earth. Because he said, you pagan, rabble, devil, viper, motherfuckers have it wrong. And John the Baptist, in a rage, he told that scumbag Herod, he said, Herod, you repent. You adulteress and your vampirous bitch. Was your brother's bride, you repent, Herod, you piece of shit. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. And who was he saying it to? Was he saying it to the black people? Was Jesus walking around Africa saying, you vipers? No, 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 no. He grew up with the Africans. In Egypt, when he hid from the scum, where did he hide? And when he went to preach the knowledge he learned and refreshed himself with as a human, where did he go? When your body has a cut or a wound out of your entire body, where do you go? To the part that has a problem. That was the white man. The problem was his soul. The body was the spiritual body of God. And I am part of the Godhead, here to tell the scum to repent. And stop perverting my ancestors' knowledge before I embody it on your motherfucking ass.